Hello there, today for you I have probably my most anticipated VR game of 2023, Powerwash Sim. You see, I was an early access player of the regular version of this game and was mesmerized by the ding. And thought immediately to myself, this would be amazing in VR, and wouldn't you know it, these beautiful people did it. So, assuming you don't know what this is at all, Powerwash Sim is a game about owning a pressure washing company in a very dirty city. Simply enough, you start out with a basic pressure washer and no extensions, and you do jobs to increase your reputation and earn money. Very simple premise, so let's talk about how well this was adapted for VR. The controls are super easy to use. You can either go the immersive route and pull attachments off by hand and grab them off your tool belt, or just use a pop-up menu. At first I was big into the immersive path, but after a while I got lazy and just used the menu. You can change the height of your tool belt to be more accessible if you're sitting down, which is how I mostly played this game. All of that with the cleaning itself, moving ladders and step stools, moving around, all feels really well done for the most part. There were a few times early on where I couldn't grab ladders from the second story of a building, and on one level I couldn't use the step stool at all, which made things complicated, but other than that I was fine. As I was initially writing this, there was also a problem with the movement settings going back to default every time I entered a new job, which was super frustrating, but after the most recent update that seems to have been dealt with. The downside for me after this update is that I started having performance issues. I'm running this on Quest 3, and before the update I never once dealt with stuttering or frame rate drops, but since have had quite a few moments of stuttering, and one night playing with friends, my frame rate was so bad that it felt like I was playing a PS2 game but in VR. It only got that bad one time, but I have noticed it not running as well since. I'm not sure if this is widespread. I haven't really found other users complaining about it, so it may be an isolated thing, but I thought you should know anyways. Speaking of friends though, just like the regular version of the game, you can play career mode with one friend or do extra missions or free play with up to 4 total players. Other than what I already said about the multiplayer, it worked just fine. The levels are all the same as the original levels for the normal version of the game, all adapted really well, and I hope to see some of the recent DLC make its way to the VR like the Final Fantasy, Tomb Raider, and SpongeBob collabs. Of course, just like with the original version of the game, the sound design is very much on point. The spray sounds, the rumble of the pressure washer, the dings, of course, everything about this game is relaxing, and in VR that feeling is multiplied by the immersion. It really is a great experience. So honestly, outside of the couple hiccups I mentioned, this game has been an amazing experience for me. It has run well for the most part, looks great, sounds fantastic, and for 25 bucks the amount of time you can sink into this bad boy is almost limitless. Granted, you don't get tired of doing the same levels. The few issues I had seem to have been updated away, and hopefully they continue to develop for this version of the game the same way they have for the normal version. This is a definite must-play for me. The vast majority of my time in VR lately has been in this game, and it's taking the likes of Assassin's Creed Nexus and Asgard's Wrath to pull me out. But that is all I have for today. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I have more VR and indie content on my channel. If you're into that kind of thing, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It really helps out in the algorithm. Thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.